We're near the end of our session with Cassie here, and one of the things I always like to do is incorporate, not just for mealtime, which is what we're going to work on now, but I like to incorporate structure into anything that I can. So when I pet the dog, I make the dog sit first before I pet them. When we're at their door, I make them sit before I give them permission to go out the door. These little steps are minor, but they add up in a cumulative fashion. Now, feeding is not necessarily a problem for Cassie. I have some clients where the dog is too fat, and so the guardians, usually it's because they free feed. And the dog is underweight, so I'm going to leave access to food all the time. Well, if we have access to something all the time, it really erodes our desire because it's too available. We like things that we can't have. You know, I can't have it, I gotta have it. And so when we feed dogs, feeding is the most primarily important activity dogs participate in. In the wild, they spend 90% of their time looking for food. It is their primary drive. So when we provide food just in a little bowl, we kind of rob them of something that normally there's a lot of structure to, number one, but also it's so easy, it doesn't provide them with much distraction, and the order that they eat matters greatly. When dogs are in a pack, they eat in the order of their rank. The leaders eat first, then the followers, and then, and so on and so forth. Now, there could be multiple, we talked a little bit earlier about, is there an alpha? There is no such thing as an alpha in a dog pack, because it could be run by one male, or it could be run by one female, or a combination of either one. So it's what the dog thinks, and is it act and have the confidence to be a leader, not I'm the only male. That's what in a wolf pack. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put the food down. I'm going to describe this. We probably won't film it because it'll take a little bit of time. But when dogs eat, because they eat in the order of their rank, it's important that the humans eat first. So what I do is I put food in the bowl. The dog's not allowed to go near the bowl. Then I go and I get a chip or a cracker or a carrot or something. I prefer something crunchy. It just has to be a real food. It can't be coffee or smoothies. They don't understand those as food. So I'm going to grab a cracker or whatever it is after I have the food in the bowl, and I'm going to eat the cracker in front of the dog. And let's say this is not where we feed, but let's say that the food bowl's over there. I don't want to be standing between the dog and the food bowl. I want to be standing off to the side, really relaxed, while the food bowl's over there. The dog has nothing but air between them and the food, so they're controlling and developing self-control themselves rather than not doing it because I'm guarding the food. When I get done eating, I give the dog permission to eat at that point. At that point, it has 3 minutes to eat. If it walks over and sniffs the bowl and turns and walks away, I pick up the bowl and dump it. As soon as it leaves the area, I pick up the bowl, dump it, and put the empty bowl back down. It's important to put the empty bowl back down. Now, for most dogs, 3 minutes to eat is 2 minutes too long. Now, if your dog is a slower eater but is deliberately trying to eat, you can make it 5 minutes if you want, but I've seen some dogs that are like, and they're trying to eat as slow as they can to control you and keep your attention. So once the 5 minutes comes up, go pick up the bowl, dump it. Unless your dog has a food guarding issue, you don't want to do that. But for everybody else, pick it up, dump it, put the bowl down. The dog, 99% of the time, a dog will lick the bowl. If they come over and sniff it and walk away before the 3 minutes are up, as soon as they walk away, I pick it up and dump it. So you're eating when I tell you to eat, or you don't eat again until the next meal. Now, one thing that people, I have had a lot of clients recently that have dogs that are a little bit overweight, and so they're trying to cut down, and I've had several, they go to one meal only. Now, I actually have friends who study animal nutrition, and I talk to them about it. That shuts down a dog's metabolism. It will not help them lose weight by only feeding them once a day because they gorge themselves once, and the rest of the day they're unhappy. And so it creates sometimes you get a dog that eats poop, or starts roughaging, looking for food. It can eat, tearing things up, looking for food. So if you have a dog that's a little bit overweight, it's better to feed it more often with smaller portions, 2 or 3 times a day, but the minimum that you should feed your dog is absolutely twice. If you try to go once a day, just like if you're a human, you try to eat once a day, you're gonna be hungry a couple hours later, and then you're gonna be hungry the rest of the day. And if you talk to anybody that helps people lose weight, they have you eat more meals in shorter, smaller portions more often to keep your metabolism going. But if there's nothing in your system, there's no reason for your metabolism to go, and it's not going to help. One little other tip, if your dog is a little overweight, I get fresh green beans, put about 3 or 4 of them, chop them up into little bits, and then substitute about 10% of your dog's food for the green beans. The fiber in the green beans will help them feel fuller while you're actually feeding them a little bit less. So those are the tips on how we can add a little bit of structure to mealtime to help the dog respect us a little bit more as an authority figure.
Thank you.